Good day, ladies and gentlemen, for taking time today to attend this learning session on EBS upgrade. In today's session, it's a part of series of webinar, and we will be exploring in detail various dimensions of EBS upgrade. You will get to learn these dimensions of EBS upgrades, like where enterprises are today in their EBS application lifecycle journey. What are some of the compelling reasons and objectives and challenges for looking for upgrade? And what are the choices with the enterprises? Post that in the second half of the today's session, you get to deep dive into critical innovation and transformation available with new version of EBS. These transformations, when selected with due diligence and correctly adopted, bring enterprise requisite value expected from the ERP. Just a small piece of history, just few liners. Oracle EBS was built in a very different avatar in late 80s as a financial application, but gradually evolved as a complete enterprise application encompassing several functions like financial, supply chain, manufacturing, HRMS, project, pretty much any function what a enterprise would be using it. And it is available across various domains and industries. Since couple of decades, there has been a large Oracle community working on different releases of EBS, starting from 10, 11, 12.1, and even the current release 12.2 has been there for a while, almost since end of 2013. So I think that's what the basis, context and the background of this, I will say, first half of the session. Now opening up the session with, the next slide is, I will take you through where the enterprises are in their journey of Oracle EBS lifecycle. So next slide, please. So if you look at about a year back, Oracle extended its commitment to innovate, transform, and support its current release of 12.2 up to December of 2031. The latest version available in release 12 as of today is 12.2.9. There is a fair mix of enterprises on 12.1, 12.2.4, 12.2.8, and few of them on 12.2.9. End of support for 12.1 is December 2021, and it is steering large number of enterprises like yours. To make matter even more complex and urgent, there are two database versions, 11G and 12C, available with both 12.1 and 12.2. And support for these databases is also soon ending, independent of 12.1 application support. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, 11G support is ending in December 2020 and 12C is ending July 2021. So enterprises who are on 11G, time has almost run out, and those on 12C, it is the right time now to plan and take next steps. Database 19C was recently certified with R12. If an enterprise has already embraced that, they have one less thing to worry, as its support availability is till March 2026. End of support of application and databases bring its own set of challenges for enterprises, from security, compliance, outdated or a lack of functionality, and worst and scary, the broken or down application without support of mission critical functionalities. You can very well appreciate looking at complex and multi-stakeholder involvement. Upgrade of database and an application is a critical project involving considerable effort, time, and cost. We will walk you through these criticalities, complexities, for you to optimize upgrade journey and save time and cost. Everyone realizes ERPs of the world like EBS do not work in silos and have a wide, deep dependency on various elements like business functions, hardware, other applications, a myriad of integrations, data centers, and so on. Therefore, it's of even more importance to carefully review these elements of the ecosystem and decide which of these are candidate for new avatar. As it is generally optimal for application and database need to be taken together for upgrade. Review of these elements give good opportunity to assess their needs for changes, if any, and defining a holistic approach and strategy for EBS upgrade. So this is where enterprises are today, and I would say what is the one of the critical challenge organizations are facing from a upgrade perspective. So we'll move on to the next about what are the choices available, what are the options. So if you see on this, I'll say screenshot, uh, the number one option what we have mentioned here is stay as it is. This is not even an option. We have already seen in the earlier slide that there are set of challenges enterprises face and cannot afford to be on an outdated version. So if we move to the option 2, which is upgrade and stay on-prem with the refreshed hardware, that option is where enterprises are yet not ready for public cloud. And the reason for not going to public cloud could be various. There could be security issues, there could be compliance, there could be reasons where their cloud service provider is hosted. So it's a good option to upgrade and stay on-prem and refresh the hardware. Refreshing of the hardware is an optional piece if your existing hardware is not near the end of life. You can use the existing investment in the hardware and go with the upgrade. Then if we move to the option 3, which is upgrade and move to IaaS cloud, like OCI, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Enterprises which are open for moving to cloud, or which they have already taken, I will say, baby steps by moving some of their development and test workloads, or they've moved some smaller applications to cloud. They are ready to take the maximum benefits of the cloud by reducing their one-time cost on infrastructure. So basically going into an OpEx model, reduced management of infrastructure, have access to the latest, I will say, technology available in infrastructure, and achieve better uptimes and accessibility. So that's I will say the most common and I will say sort of choices people and enterprises are adopting today. And then let's come to the option 4. Option 4 is upgrade and coexist with Oracle SaaS. This is an interesting option, and this is where enterprises which even after upgrading, um, they still have certain functionalities which are missing in the upgraded EBS. They can choose best of the both worlds by keeping existing functionality in EBS, and for missing functionality, choosing some of the best of the breed modules from Oracle Cloud Application or Fusion. So that's a good option, because Oracle has got some very standard ways of integrating and adapters available between EBS and Oracle SaaS or Oracle Clouds. And then coming to the last option, which is fifth, is abandon EBS completely and move to Oracle SaaS. This option is for those enterprises where they have EBS module footprint, whatever their current EBS module footprint is available completely in SaaS, and they can go for this. However, I will say a rider and a caution over here. This is extreme and most expensive option, requiring re-implementation with a considerable time and involvement of all the stakeholders, and has a higher risk element compared to any of the 3 upgrade options I have shared earlier. So just taking a pause, and just you can consume all these options. I can fairly assume you knew these options and have inclination to pursue an upgrade of Oracle EBS. This slide was to present a consolidated view of available options. So wrapping up this part of slide, and moving on to the next part of session. So we will define what are your key objectives for the upgrade. Next slide, please, Chandra. So as much as upgrade involves significant investments of time and resources, just being tech compliant cannot be the primary driver or motivation to undertake upgrade. So as we have talked in the beginning of the presentation, uh, the, the one of the core reason, or I will say objective, shaping up was that the technology need to be refreshed, and they are it is getting, the support is getting out of date, and there needs to be compliance. So but that's not the only, I will say, motive and objective. Thus it is important to understand what are the other key objectives a typical enterprise need to solve from its EBS upgrade investment. And these objectives, if defined and I will say objectified, help you to take the right decision and move on. So based on our experience working with several enterprises in different geographies, domains and sizes, have defined 5 key objectives. So opening up with the first key objective, which is a new functionalities. Oracle has solved one of the important and critical problem with the EBS earlier version to considerably reduce downtime by providing online patching. This a similar feature was available in some of the other ERPs for some time, but Oracle was not having. But now this is a very good feature which is available. Besides this technical part of solution, what Oracle has brought, there are numerous functional enhancements and improvements have been released across the board. Various functions starting from financial, supply chain, manufacturing, and several more. So a lot of new functionalities have been added as per the new EBS release, and you should definitely quantify what are those from an objective perspective. If we move to the next piece of objective, which is standardize the processes. So as you will realize, Oracle EBS has been there for long. We did share that the history, it's almost there for 2 decades. Enterprises have found a lot of functionalities and processes of business which are missing, and by virtue of this they have done a whole lot of customizations to complete their missing processes by building forms, reports, localizations. Newer release give a chance to retire some of these customizations and avail the standard out-of-box functionalities. Second piece of this standardization of processes, uh, large number of enterprises have been working for a long time with manual or script-based testing to achieve partial or inadequate testing, thus leading to delayed go-to-market of the projects, and in several cases having production issues, and in some cases security incidences. For good percentage of enterprises, objective can be to achieve near 100% coverage of testing functionality on regular basis, in turn helping enterprises to standardize their QA process. One of the newer trend to achieve this in industry is by rapid testing using accelerator based approach. One would question why this testing is more relevant now. There are multiple dimensions. The technology for automation testing has improved a whole lot in last, I would say, several years. Um, Oracle has announced another full decade plus, almost 11 years of life for your EBS investment, and it makes sense that you would be requiring to stay invested in this application for long. You would need to test a whole lot of time the functionality, because OEM will bring changes, business will bring changes. You need to test it more often, and it's good idea to have now automation testing available to make best use of that. Moving to the third part of the key objective is the technology refresh. Oracle has bundled several technological improvements within 12.2 in form of database, a really, I will say, refreshed database, WebLogic, online patching, a lot of GUI features, mobility. So a whole lot of things have been included as a part of the technological improvements. Um, Other important aspect of this objective is also that enterprises are able to define it, that they need to refresh if they have an aging hardware. So a very important consideration of hardware refresh. Also, because as we all know, we are into era of cloud. Enterprises are considering aspects of retiring their data center and going to cloud like OCI. This movement to OCI or public cloud can be together with application upgrade as one big bang move, or move pre to upgrade, or move post the upgrade. But defining the objective around this movement strategy is important, and there are critical pros and cons associated with each of these approach. Um, I think we all realize, in this medical, I will say 100 years of history, what we have today of COVID, enterprises, those who had embraced cloud, they definitely had a jump start to provide access and provisioning to their employees to work from home. So today I think it's very critical. This option is evaluated, I will say thoroughly and taken accordingly. Moving to the fourth aspect of I will say objective is IT efficiency. As we all are into this COVID situation, and economies are going southward. The pressure on IT is even more. Pressure on business is even more. To be more efficient, to be more lean and more mean, and obviously automation is one of the critical aspect of that. And here, IT organization perspective, it is important to consider reduction in maintenance window, streamlining of testing and release processes. Upgrade time is also a good checkpoint to see how well or up to date is your application documented for setup, configurations, training material, access controls. So it's good to know what is the situation and what is the can be achieved by upgrade. Other aspect which enterprise face is managing clone of their application and database, and there are requirements for never ending innumerable number of clones. These clones, besides production, a typical enterprise would have 4 to 7 other instances of this ERP. Whether it is development, test, for projects, QA, near production to simulate production issues. So various instances are required, and several time for some enterprises in a month, and for some enterprises once a month. So there is a whole lot of frequency for cloning. So there is definitely an option and objective here to improve and bring efficiency by embracing cloning time, and reducing the cloning time to sub 4-hour window, reducing overall storage needs, ensuring clones are done and used appropriately in as per various compliance need. So that's another area of efficiency which can be achieved when we define the objective for um, upgrade. So coming to the last piece of I will say this objectives, which is security and compliance. Enterprises are facing tremendous push to be with up-to-date release and security patches. Obviously enterprises being now working outside the secured office premises, they are working from home, so the security is even more relevant than ever. It was always relevant, but it's even more relevant, I would say. It's a key objective for some enterprises to be compliant. Additionally, enterprises cannot afford to be out of sync with the periodic security updates and end up with security and compliance vulnerabilities. So these are the key objectives and challenges what we have by our experience defined here. We might have missed a few of them or may not have listed them. Feel free to share your, I will say, objectives or questions or inputs in the chat box or question box, and we'll happy to learn from you. So this wraps up this piece of I will say slide. Okay, so we have spent about in the last 25 minutes learning in detail where enterprises stand today in their EBS application lifecycle, what are the compelling objectives and reasons for the upgrade, and what are the choices with the enterprises. So we have gone through all these three aspects in detail. and we'll be more than happy to take more questions on this toward the end of the overall webinar. Now we are getting into the exciting part, the second half of this session, and time to bring in our Oracle application specialist Ashish to deep dive along with you into critical innovation and transformation available in R12.2. That's pretty much the white portion on the top of the screen, which is shown as the foundational. Ashish will be talking about those foundational improvement and transformation. And in our forthcoming series, we would talk threadbare about some of the specific functional areas which are grayed out here, which are financials, OM, purchasing, manufacturing. So please stay tuned with us for dates of those further series. Thank you, audience, for your undivided attention. Over to you, Ashish, for the next half.
Thank you, Vinay. Yeah, I'll deep dive the critical innovations available from 12.1.3 onwards around the foundations stream. In the foundation stream, we have highlighted impactful feature and functionality which are available from 12.1.3 onwards, like simplified home pages, desktop integrator, improved UI, mobility, and enterprise command center, ECC, and online patching. We'll talk about in detail in the subsequent slide. Chandra, can you please move to the next slide? We all know and have experiences that the user interface of Oracle is not latest and the greatest. Oracle has really worked to come up with a modern UI. In the simplified UI, these pages are the user-friendly pages and the responsive pages. And if you are able to see, there is some icon which are touch-friendly icon. Business users also has experiences same look and feel when they are accessing Oracle EBS applications using the mobile device. And the customization of this home pages is very easy, and you can send any announcement to your business community in the announcement sections. Favorite icon is available right of the pages, so you can quickly bookmark a page which you are accessing very frequently. And there is a notification icon. It talks about how many number of notification are pending for approval and how many number of notification are active as of now. So it is a very simplified home page uh, in 12.2.8 onwards. Chandra, can you please move to the next slide? Yeah, there is another good feature is theme editor. You can use this theme to change the rendering of the icon on the home pages. It also allow you to change the icon type, like if there is a user want these icon in the circular manner, or some of the user want in the square face. Those things can be easily controlled, and you can also allow to change the background color and can be aligned with your corporate branding. So these are the themes you can set user wise. Chandra, can you please move to the next slide? So Oracle is doing continuous improvement on a desktop integration. If you see in 12.0, there is 150 integrators are available. But if you see in 12.1, there is 200 plus integrators are available. And 2.2, there are 400 plus integrators are available. Generally, we have seen the user are very comfortable on the Excel. So Oracle has continuously innovating and improving on the desktop indicator. What I mean to say is user enter the information into the Excel file and they can directly upload into the Oracle EBS applications directly. And a couple of good things Oracle has improved. There are a lot of things in the reporting manager. In the FSG, that those FSG output is not in great shape in 12.1.3, but in 12.2 onwards, the output is very good in the Excel file. Chandra, can you please move to the next slide? Yeah, in the desktop integrator, in most of the pages, there is an icon, Excel icon is there. Business user, whenever business user click on those icon, it download the Excel template. Business user fill the information and the corresponding list of values are available over here. Once business users fill those informations, they can directly upload to the Oracle EBS applications. Yeah, Chandra, can you please move to the next slide? Yeah, next thing is mobility. Oracle has increases the coverage on mobility. Now there are around 20 plus modules are available on the mobile app, and these are available on iOS and Android. Uh, Mobile applications are built in the mobile application framework. If you see in the horizontal side of it, there is an approval, which means whenever users book their expenses, their manager can approve the expenses using the mobile device, or whenever the users apply for the leave or time card, that can be approved using the mobile device. And line of business apps, there is around 20 plus modules are there, like sales order, like inventory, like procurement. It gives us a order wise status. Let's how many number of orders are created today, how many number of orders are booked today, what is the order of what is the state of these order. The business user or manager can view those information on the mobile itself. These are the key pointers, and there is no additional licenses cost associated to configure the standard mobility solution. This is off the shelf is available. Chandra, can you please move to the next slide? As we all know, the Oracle application was quoted long time back in Oracle D2K, which was awesome at that time. Now there is a changes is required to improve the UI. Now in the latest releases, both the flavor of the forms are available. D2K forms are also available, and the HTML forms are available. HTML pages increase user experiences and the productivity of the business user. What I mean by increase the productivity, if you see there is some tiles are showing over here, it gives us how many work orders are started today, how many work order are finished today, how many on track. In the earlier versions, business user has to run multiple reports to consolidate those informations, but now those information are easily accessible in the info tiles. Whenever there is a requirement to drill it down to the transaction level, they just need to click on the info tiles. The respective information is available in the below sections. They can download it in the any of the formats. Apart from these, actually, whatever the rules or roles and responsibility we have configured, these info tiles are based on roles and responsibility are configured. In this example, this is manufacturing users, so they are able to see work order details, and they are also able to search how many job orders status as a completed, what is my assembly status, what is my order number wise status. Chinta, can you please move to the next? Yeah, for the manager, this info tiles changes. Uh, it there let's how many number of work orders are pending and how many work orders are delayed, and corresponding informations are available in the bottom of the sections. Uh, any manager can uh, click on the info tile and get those information, export the data into the Excel and take a necessary action on work orders. Yeah, Chanda, can you please move to the next slide? Yeah, in Oracle introduced one of the good feature or biggest innovation, that is Enterprise Command Center, that is available from 2.4 onwards, and Oracle is enhancing or improvement in the latest release of Oracle EBS, and the ECC is available across 25 modules, and they are having a actionable dashboards. Around 90 numbers of actionable dashboards are available. Whatever the role and responsibility we have configured, the same will apply on the ECC. And good point of the ECC, come up with a no additional licenses with Oracle EBS suites new releases. And you have also noticed ECC is available in across all the functions like financial, supply chain, manufacturing, and the other modules like service contract, field service, depot repair, and HRMS. As Vinay said, we have detailed subsequent webinars on each functions, financial, supply chain, and manufacturing on ECC. So stay tuned with us. Chinda, can you please move to the next slide? Another good feature is online patching. This feature is more relevant to the technology people, but rewards of those innovations are more for the business and the business users. Uh, Generally, we have seen there is a continuous process to plug the security and vulnerability or apply the new functionality, new bugs, new patches. In the earlier version, whenever we apply, there is a need to apply the patches. It requires the downtime, and the downtime starts from prepare to apply to finalize to cut over to cleanup activity, and the business users are not able to work on these 5 phases. But in 12.2 onwards, till prepare to finalize, patch apply on the offline mode, it will not impact on the business users. Whenever the patch apply finalize at the time of cutover, the only that time there is a requirement of application shutdown, and at that time only the business user are in offline mode. Generally, we have seen it is a very short time down the application. Naturally, the application downtime depend on the patch size. So the takeaway is online patching make it easier or simpler for the IT people, for the operation people, for the DBA team to apply the patches. But more also reduces the downtime required for applying the patches considerably. It improves the availability of your applications for the business.
Yeah.
This is one of the use cases. We have upgrade their applications in the leading electronic appliances and manufacturing industry. They have decided to upgrade their application as the database they are using 10G version was going to be desupported. That's why they have decided to upgrade their applications from R12.13 to 12.6 and the database from 10G to 12C. So as far as the challenges side, its application and database version, uh, as I already discussed, that they were using the 10G databases was going to be desupported, and another is inadequate reporting, or I can say they are not able to generate the MIS reporting from the Oracle EBS applications, and they don't have a repository of test scenarios, test cases. Also, whenever they apply the patches at that time, requires downtime, application downtime. So these are the primary challenges what the Panasonic team was facing at that time. We have implemented a couple of feature and functionality, and we have upgraded their application and database Also, we have implement the ECC for the MIS reporting perspective. We have also created a test case test scenario repository, and will also implement the online patching activities, so it reduce the downtime, application downtime. Okay, now their applications and the database are compliant, and the reduce the maintenance window, and they are having a test repository or test scenario repository with them. Okay, Chandra, thanks. Over to you.
I would like to thank Vinay and Ashish, for the wonderful session today, and hope all of you will be there with us for the subsequent webinars that we will hold on. So you can always email me. My email is chandra.shekhar@pathinfotech.com. Thanks again. Thanks for your time. Thanks all of you.